Hi, I'm Justin, a techie lawyer. I automated most of my work, and now I'm here to help you to improve your own work and take your work to the next level. You can find me on my website, automateofficework.com. And today we are going to map out a process. We're going to take one from the legal industry because I worked as a lawyer, and so that's what I focused on. The scenario that we're going to work on today is we're going to map out the steps of how to create the ideal system for managing RFPs. That's requests for proposals. So we have different legal projects, legal matters we call them, and we're going to be trying to send them out to different law firms and have them give back their proposed budgets and the different kinds of things that they have to offer. And then we can select one. And so there are several steps to this, several parties involved, and we're going to map it out. Whenever we talk about process, we need to talk about the things that make up a process, and those are all shown right here. There can also be several processes nested within other processes. But the basics is that a process has a trigger, and then it has an actor. We have some basic inputs that we need, and then we have some predetermined processing that we need to do. Sometimes that involves giving it out to somebody else through outsourcing, and then they give us back an input that is needed in our processing. And then ultimately, we have an output. So we're going to focus first on our interface. That is the different parts of this system that we want our users to interact with. And secondly, we're going to focus on our database, how we manage all the different data points. Okay, so our interface, we're going to start with a home page. Each user is going to be able to come to the home page and be able to see matters that they have access to. If you're an admin like myself, you'll be able to see everything. The next page that we're going to have is there's going to be a new item page. This is going to be a form where you fill out all the different relevant pieces of your request, and then that creates an item. And so the user will be able to go to an item page and be able to see where the item is in the workflow. The workflow, there will be a new item. Perhaps it will be then approved internally, and then the requester can send it out to vendors. Vendors come and submit. And then finally, there is review and vendor selection. So these are the different parts of our workflow. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it also might be that when a vendor comes and submits, maybe when it's reviewed, it could possibly go back to maybe there are some follow-up questions that we need to ask, like why did the vendor fill it out in this weird way or something. Okay, so there could be a little bit of a dance between, I think that's steps 3 and 4. Next, for our database, we're going to have a couple of different tables. One table is going to be requests, and one table is going to be all about the vendors, the point people, their address, maybe a little bit of history about them. But the requests table is going to have some columns of data. We're going to need a unique ID for each request. There's going to be a status, where we are in the workflow. Each request needs an owner. I guess an approver. We need to know who approved it and when. We need to know the range of money. So that's going to be ranges of like 1 to 10K, 10K to 50K, 50K to 100K, something like that, some kind of a range, especially because we want to make sure that this project fits at a certain threshold. Like anything that is under 10K, we probably don't want to be having to go through this process. It's probably such a small amount that we don't care. We can just send it out to a vendor without asking for their different proposals. Okay, each project, each request is going to have a jurisdiction, whether that is a country or a state. Each project is going to have a time frame, like how quickly do we need this? How urgent is it? It's going to have a description. We're going to have some areas of law, and this is going to be able to pick multiples of things. So in computer programming, we call this an array. So we might have employment, we might have commercial, we might have also tax. So you see how we have multiple things that are indicated here. Okay, and we might also have some extra requirements. Things like gender balance, um, minority participation. These things are becoming more and more important to people who are buying services, that they want to make sure that the vendor is able to fulfill these, to give us like good statistics about the different kinds of companies that we are supporting. I guess now we can go to the home screen. This is going to be the home screen. It's going to have a title. And we're going to have the email address at automateofficework.com. Below that, we're going to have an add button. And below that, we're going to have a table with the unique ID. We're going to have the status. We're going to have the owner, date modified maybe. We're going to have various columns of data. We're going to have maybe some comments. So I think that's enough for the home screen. And then we're going to have just rows and rows of data. And this is going to be ABC, new, John Smith. Okay, so then we're going to be able to click on this, I guess we should call it new. That's our new button. And we're going to be able to see our matters that we have visibility of. Our next screen, this is going to be our new page. And this is going to be a form. Unique ID generated automatically. Requester generated automatically. Status new. And we're going to start asking like the jurisdiction. And this is going to be a drop down. All the states, all the countries. Money range, that'll be a drop down. Time frame. We might have like a drop down, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. Description. This is going to be a free text box with guidelines. So we're going to tell the person how to write this up. We're going to give them examples. This is going to be check boxes, so they can select multiples. And let's also do check boxes to select multiple with option to do custom. So they can also type in other. So this is going to be all filled in by the user, and then they're going to submit. Submit button, and then that creates the item page. Okay, so we have the new item created, approved internally, approvers notified. One comes to review and gives approval or can reject. Okay, approved internally. That means then requester comes to view approval notes, makes any changes and sends to vendors. Send it to vendors. We have two options here. Vendor creates a new profile because we need to have all their data in the database. If needed, step 2, vendor reviews and fills in data for request. Requester reviews submissions from vendors, possibly sends back to vendor for further edits, and they submit again. Review and vendor selection. Request is archived, and matter is then managed in separate matter management platform. So I hope that you guys really like this. I decided to do this real quick and kind of just on the spot, just to show you how we map this out. I can then take this and build this out using Microsoft tools, something like SharePoint and Power Automate, to give all of these people a great experience. I can also help your team with doing this kind of thing, or you can come to me if you already have it mapped out, and I can then provide you your dream platform to take your work to the next level. All right, so with that, reach out if you need anything. My name is Justin Turman. You can reach me at justin@automateofficework.com, or just go to automateofficework.com and book a call with me, or find me on LinkedIn. Have a great day.